It is wonderful to be in Prime Minister and Cabinet with the teams merged and pulling together all of our different diverse skills. So I'm going to briefly talk about the team and what we're sort of doing with data infrastructure, and then talk a little bit about where data.gov.au fits into this, just so that sort of makes sense to you all. So first of all, we have a team as part of this branch called Data Management. Currently there's about 5 of us. We're sort of going to be growing to 6 or 7, which is quite exciting. And what data infrastructure is available to you today across the whole of government is something that a lot of people ask. And so I just wanted to outline that. First of all, there's a lot of skills and code available. So there's obviously a public data branch, and we've got a few of us represented here today, so keep an eye out for them. And I might just give a quick call out. So Michelle pulled all, and just to make sure I don't forget sometime later in the day, because, you know, baby brain, can you all just join me in thanking Michelle for pulling all this together? It's really, really amazing. She's giving me the 2 minutes. I don't know what that means. So we've also got the GA team here today, Bruce Dutton and some of his team, so thank you very much for the work you're putting into this. And obviously we've got Data 61, Bill and his team, which includes both dev and UX sort of people as well. So, but there's also skills and code available from the ABS, from the Data Analytics Centre of Excellence. There's the Analytics Space, which is a community space to actually share information about data, about code, about visualization tools, all kinds of stuff, so I encourage you to get involved. And then, of course, we've got the Open Data Community Forum that is now about 600 strong across the APS and state and territory governments, and growing. And so we're getting, and there's a lot more as well. There's all these web science sort of communities, data science communities. So there's a lot of ways to engage with your peers and share and learn, which I encourage you to do. From a discovery perspective, obviously Data.gov.au catalogue is the national main point of discovery for federal government and data sets, and increasingly the other states and territories as well. We do hosting on Data.gov.au, but there's also, I'll get to the trusted access stuff in a moment. There's value add stuff on top of that. I'll give you a nice little diagram in a second. But then there's also, when you're looking at sensitive data, there's a lot of the great work that's happening at ABS with the trusted access model. So we're largely talking here today about non-sensitive data or sensitive data only available in aggregate format. So just to make that clear, and here's a bit of a diagram to sort of show what I'm talking about. Data.gov.au, a lot of people think is just a catalogue, and internationally it has been implemented in a lot of open data portals as just simply a catalogue. We realised when we relaunched Data.gov.au a few years ago that a catalogue wasn't enough. We had to provide a free, easy to use, of high technical integrity hosting platform and some data visualisation tools as well to make it actually valuable for agencies. So today you've got the Data.gov.au catalogue in the middle there, in the big grey box. Underneath it you've got all of the agencies can host your own data and your own data services and link them to Data.gov.au, of course, but we also provide hosting opportunities including tabular data, spatial data, and large data, which we're in the process of putting into place. So you can have your multi-terabyte, multi-petabyte data hosting on Data.gov.au as well very soon. But right at the top, the idea is by making more of our data across government machine readable and of high quality and of a quality that invokes confidence in data users and the private sector, not only can we provide some basic data visualization tools on Data.gov.au, and we'll be looking at more of those going forward, but there's also NationalMap has been a big part of that, showing the value of visualization of data, and there's a lot of third-party tools that you can use as well to visualize your data once you make it available in a machine-readable format. So when you publish spatial data or a spatially enabled spreadsheet, and we've even provided some documentation about how to do that on our toolkit that is all available publicly, then that data, those types of data, are automatically available on NationalMap in a spatially enabled way. That makes it really easy for you to be able to publish your data and have it available spatially very quickly, very easily, without a lot of mucking around. So we've tried to make sure that NationalMap and Data.gov.au are integrated to make it easy for you to get the most value out of your data in publishing it. Obviously, there's different types of data. As I mentioned, we're mostly dealing with open data here, but we're also dealing with, we quite often deal with a lot of aggregate data as well, whether it's a data service coming through or whether it's data that we host. Just quickly, the new public data branch that Helen mentioned, she spoke about the merging of teams. Our broader work program, we're sort of also looking at the public data review, the implementation of that review that a lot of you would be aware of. Looking at data policy, looking at world-class data sharing and publishing, public-private partnerships, and hopefully you'll all have seen the Data Start program that was just launched about engaging with the startup community to use government data. And one of the big ones is we're creating a whole of government data skills and capability program, not just focusing on data specialists, but on the whole of government. We want all of our policy advisors and policy makers and program managers to be looking at how they integrate data into their business as usual processes. So we're working with APSC and DTO and a few other organisations to build those data capabilities into the broader whole of government so that we can start to get a data-driven APS. I won't go too much into the roadmap. This is all sort of available. We're obviously looking at the way forward from a whole of government data infrastructure, so collaborating closely, like the ABS who run whole of government infrastructure for trusted access to confidential data, but also in terms of data.gov.au, NationalMap and the entire stack of stuff. How can we make that better for people to use? How can we better support your needs as data publishers, as data users, and the broader economy in terms of their needs? So this workshop is the start of a bunch of stuff that we're doing. Out of today, you're obviously going to get a bit of an overview of NationalMap and some case studies. The workshops are going to split into 3. So the first one is about how to use NationalMap, including the basics of data.gov.au. So this is sort of an introduction to using it. The second one will be about advanced user needs, and the third one will be about developing a roadmap for NationalMap. Keeping in mind that we'll take the input from the first 2 workshops as well. But can I get a bit of a show of hands? Who's here for the general how to use NationalMap kind of workshop? A few? How many people for the advanced usage? A few, and how many people for the roadmap? Okay, so that's probably going to be the biggest conversation. And just so that you're aware, we will also be having a similar workshop to this, but also specifically focusing on a user workshop to get some data users in to talk to them as well around data.gov.au, which will be on the 16th of December. So we'll send out information after this if any of you are interested in coming to that as well. We're also doing some other workshops around legislative barriers. We're developing new guidance. So if you have if you have identified some documentation that is missing that you think would be useful to you in this space, please let us know. We're in the process of putting a lot of work into new documentation and guidance. And then, of course, it'd be good to know what sort of skills you think are needed in your organisation to best leverage these kinds of capabilities so that we can, again, provide some support and training and guidance around that. So thank you very much. Our email address, our team email address as a branch is data@pmc.gov.au. So if you ever need us, please come have a chat. Thank you so much.